Hello to all. It is January 5th, 3:58 PM, and I hereby call our township board meeting to order. So to go back through our agenda, I would like to start out with open and welcome. And then should we go ahead and start with the election of the officers for 2026?
Yeah, we might call what time it is. It's 3:50.
3:58.
He had said that.
Okay.
And I nominate Clint for chairman.
And I will
And
second,
Rosie for secretary.
I will second that.
All right. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Motion carried. And then the secretary.
I already nominated Rosie.
All right, Rosie. Okay, I'll second that. And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion carried. So piggybacking off of that, do we want to go ahead and elect our Board of Finance now? Can we do that?
We do.
I would like to do that.
They are nominated Flanagan for chairman.
Finance Chairman for Clint.
It's the president.
Oh, President?
Yep.
President.
Okay. For the position of President. All right, the nomination's
And I
been
will
made.
second.
Second by Rosie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. And then now we want a secretary as well.
I'll nominate Rosie for secretary.
And I second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, motion carried.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we'll move on to old business. Okay. So we'll go back to the minutes of the September 19th, 2025 meeting. I trust everybody had a chance to review those minutes. Any corrections or any comments on that?
I make the motion that we approve the minutes from September
All right.
19th.
And I will second.
Second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All right. Motion carried.
And here are the minutes that need to be signed. Pass that around.
I got two of these.
I printed one out. Mom didn't have one in her packet,
Oh,
so I
okay.
thought I messed up and not put anybody in.
Oh, okay.
Want me to
Because I
take that
kept,
one? Get rid of it?
yeah.
Okay.
Does that have two pages or three? This is
Wait.
two.
Front and back.
Oh, okay, got it.
You want one with, it's all one with, what's that?
Fine. I was just confused there.
I'm sorry, I missed. Who made the motion for the minutes?
Rosie.
Right.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did Clint second it or did?
Sue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
There we go.
So moving on to the 2026 budget, on the 9th of September, we submitted our Veale Township budget. And, Bill, did you want to expound on that or anything?
We submitted the budget and then basically on November the 14th, I got this by email, which is our approval from the state of Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
And they give you the sheet and they ask you to review it, then mark and sign it if you approve it or if there needs to be changes. Of course, I didn't see any changes because it was last we submitted and I returned that to them. So our budget process was complete.
Okay. So moving on, Veale Township assessed value 2026 in history.
So this year, we normally get the assessed value before we do the new budget. And this year, we didn't have that. It was hung up with a lot of different processes. And so I didn't get the assessed value until after we got the budget approval back. But they did update it because what I turned in did not have this value assessment. But the Department of Local Government Finance did implement that when they got the certified assessed value. So our assessed value, this is for Veale, is set $74,166,47, no. $74,166,479, which went up 9.2% from last year. So this sheet shows basically what the history of our assessed value was done, so. Thought it was just interesting to see how much it has increased and the trend we've been increasing for several years now. Any questions on that?
So moving on to the capital improvement plan, Veale Township, it was submitted on September 20th of last year.
And heard nothing from it. This is basically a packet of what we submitted, the resolution that the board approved, and then all the information that was submitted at that point in time. So, assumed it was accepted as received.
So moving on to board internal controls audit, board member reports. September, Sue did that one. October, Sue did that one as well, the internal controls audit. In November, I did the November 2025, and then Rosie did December of 2025, the internal.
She hasn't yet because I haven't given her the package yet. So
Okay,
I'll get that finished up probably next week and then
Okay,
give you a call.
I'll be here.
I submitted mine to you, so you got our copies, so we're good on the November.
So the September and October one, were approved and they're filed. And then yours, I've just received back, so I'm assuming it.
Yeah, no
Okay.
deficiencies, no audit needed.
Okay.
No changes. All right, moving on to the video recording of the Veale Township Board meeting. We had that first one on September 19th. And did you get any feedback on that?
I haven't, it's posted on our website. So basically anybody that goes to our website can find it and use it. The one we're taking today will also be posted next week sometime. So.
Well, if that's completes old business, we'll go into new business, 2026 bond. Veale Township trustee, Bill, do you have any feedback on that?
Gave you a copy of the bond. It basically shows that it starts January the 1st, 2026 and runs through January 1st, 2027. It's for $30,000 and it's been reported with Davis County Reporter. So that's all complete.
Okay. Now, next we have a letter to Washington Times Herald, the public meeting notice. That's a requirement we have.
So I did acknowledge that. I sent a copy, give you a copy of the email response I had. And we historically do provide them notice of any meetings that we schedule and plan on having. So I did, Brent and I were checking through some of the papers last night, because we hadn't seen that this one was published in Washington Times Herald. But we did send them in, I did send them an email in advance of that, so.
Now, next, we're gonna move to the 2025 certification of nepotism and employment policy and contracting. Bill?
So the board has one certification that they sign each year. And I have a certification. I signed mine earlier today, and so I'll file that. And then the board needs to vote on this certification and then sign it.
I make a motion that we accept it,
Yeah, that's fine.
accept the nepotism policy for 2025.
I'll second that. And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carried.
Here's the one that needs to be signed.
So we don't send that in, we just keep it on file. We do have to submit, each year we have to submit our nepotism policies, but we don't have to submit the certification.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
okay, we can move forward.
Okay.
Thank you.
So next, Indiana Township Association membership and dues, board approval, we need board approval for this.
We
The-
don't,
And membership dues were $250. And then we'll talk about the proposed township consolidation plan to eliminate up to 300 townships.
so basically we got our invoice from the ITA. Prior to that, we did get some information telling us that they had decided, the ITA had decided to change from sizing or determining the price of membership from assessed value to budget amount. So that's a change they made and implemented this year on this new price scale. So they did send us, or I was able to get all the other townships in Veale Township or in Davis County on what their fees were gonna be as well. So that's what this section is, a breakdown of those fees. But ours did go from $200 to $250. And they're asking about an additional 10% to cover legislative assessments this year. So
That'd be 275, then, right?
it is if we feel that we wanted to approve the additional 10%. So. And it's
We have to.
we don't have to.
Oh, we don't.
We don't have to. It's optional. So
Okay.
it doesn't matter to me either way.
I feel like with the bump up, just discussion, from 200 to 250, I would say we just leave it as it is. At 250 would what I would lean toward, but any other discussion, I'm willing to be persuaded.
Or the $25, is that to pay lobbyists? Or
Yes.
what's it for?
They said they've hired lobbyists this year again. And they did, again, it's not mandatory. But they do have lobbyists again this year that's working on trying to get a bill. They've got a bill being sponsored by a state senator on reducing the number of townships in the state this year.
Is that the ITA that's doing that?
It is.
That's what I thought I couldn't
But
figure out.
basically what they've said is from the governor down, there's a major move to either consolidate or significantly reduce the number of townships that are in the state.
So am I hearing you correctly? The ITA would basically prune itself so it doesn't get pruned by, is that, or am I
I think that's probably a good term, that they've decided that they have to bring something to the table or it's gonna be done something that's not in their favor.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
And lobbyists is to our good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the purpose of them.
Well, I've been very pleased, and I've said this to Bill and the whole board several times, is how proactive and, you and Maria have led the charge on this to make sure we are super compliant and we're doing what we're tasked with doing. I think a lot of these boards, they're just, if they're collecting a paycheck, I don't see any evidence that they're doing anything.
Mhm.
And I think you guys have been the leaders on that. I appreciate it.
And they always,
So,
the
you know, we got,
bad ones is always, they always get the publicity in place of good.
so we don't know what proposals are on the table. Or at least I don't at this point. I've heard there's a proposal to have one township for every county, which would be a significant reduction. What ITA is trying to put on the table, sponsored by one of the state senators, is that if the townships would be reduced by 300, and they had a criteria, 8 items that it would be, each township would be judged on whether they would need to consolidate or be able to continue to stand alone. So, and there's 1,008 townships in the state. So that would be 30%.
I think that's a good compromise. And I'm not against 25. I guess I just want to know what it's being that we are on the same page that, I think this is a good utilization of our resources, even as little as $25 is.
Right.
It'll still be a good steward.
And they really haven't explained what it is, but they did say in the meeting I attended right before Christmas was that, you know, they've got lawyers working on the bill, and they've got consulting people, and they've hired a few more people on staff as well. So, but they've been fighting this all year, really the last 2 or 3 years, right? They had the major survey put together where they could put a bunch of numbers together to say, here's what townships are doing and here's what they're bringing to the party, where they didn't have the data behind that before. So, and they're still saying that they want to speak the data.
So, as far as the membership and use, we need board approval, so.
We do.
I make a motion that we pay the $250 for the township dues.
I'd like the motion.
Second, okay, all in favor, say aye.
I,
All right, motion carried.
Thank you. The next thing I've kind of discussed already, that was the meeting on December the 22nd, where basically they presented to everybody that participated in that meeting what the outline of their plan was. It's not been finalized, but significantly, they were trying to put together a plan that would significantly reduce the number of townships to by 300. And they do have a senator that sponsor the bill, but it hasn't been firmed up totally at this point in time. So it's under development. So they're accepting that
It's
the number of townships that are being reduced.
It looks like they think, yeah, it's definitely gonna be reduced.
So
All right, so can we move on to the township insurance renewal, liability errors and omissions, and automotive?
So, we've got an appointment for January the 15th to review, our policy at that, or our new policy at that point in time. But I haven't received any quotations back from them yet, so usually we get that a few days before the meeting.
Yeah.
I don't suspect, I suspect it'll go up, but I don't think it will be significant because I haven't heard anything at this point. So,
2025 financial summary, spending, actual versus budget results for the general fund and for the township assistant.
So you guys got copies of these spreadsheets that show basically what our budget was for each of the two accounts. And in each account, we significantly underspent what we had budgeted for. So there was no individual account that exceeded any of the budgeted amounts. So
Excellent.
any questions on that?
Good leadership. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so moving on to CD rate summary, January 2026, that's to be
Bria's got
provided.
Bria's got that right there.
One for each of you.
And I couldn't get that together before I give you the packets, so. So I contacted each of the 5 approved banking institutions that we've requested from before. And I also contacted Liberty Federal Credit Union. They're not approved by the state for invest public money into, so we can't use those, but it's always kind of a good baseline. And the 7-month from Crane Credit Union was the highest again this year. So we've got 2 CDs that have matured as of today. Those are our largest one. One of them's $40,000, the other one's $50,000. So I plan on reinvesting those back into Crane. And then we've got 2 more that are coming up later this month as well. And they're currently Crane, we would continue to build Crane.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. So CD Invest for the township assistance for January 2026.
So just one more topic, the sheets I gave you were the breakdown of our investments. It did show what the earnings were for each of their funds this year. So on the township fund, we made an interest, $2,553.96. And the township assistance was $1,798.68. So
I guess we'll move on to the investment statement of December 2025 to be provided.
Here we go. One for each, Sue.
make the only cost one.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
So this shows what our investments were at the beginning of the month of December and where we ended up. I did transfer $8,000 out of our investments in Trust Indiana to make sure we had adequate money to pay all the bills and the salaries the month of December. We did also put the interest in from Trust Indiana, and that shows in the purchases here. So we got a $734.73 on interest in our general account and $55.17 in our township assistance account.
I think I did remember, no, I didn't, never mind. I'm looking at the wrong thing.
So that was our annual interest from Trust Indiana. So it's about $800.
Okay, so moving on to the cash statement, the December 2025, that's to be provided as well.
Yeah. And what we've used Trust Indiana for is to reduce the amount of money we've got in our checking account
That's all.
and trying to get interest on more money. So it's a very fluid account. You can put in to take money out, and within 2 days, you've got the money in your bank. So it works very well to transfer money in and out, where other investments, you know, are longer term. So,
Right.
And they
So-
penalize pretty heavy.
pardon me?
They penalize pretty heavy sometimes, but.
But you can't invest about as much either. I mean, we've never run our cash down to less than $5,000 in the past years, but we have this year, trying to get more interest.
Mhm.
And as long as you can handle that headache, I mean, I think that's
Yeah.
just being frugal. So
I do too.
it's a little bit of headache, but
So we'll get paid for our investments, our 4 investments for January, and we'll kind of see where that's at. And of course, we're going to renew those investments as well. But the earnings will probably put back into Trust Indiana to bring our cash account down again to around $5,000.
okay. So township assistant summary of 2025, Bill?
We had 5 approved cases this year. You can see the breakdown. They were all for utilities assistance. The DCRW is Davis County Rural Water, and then our REMC is electricity. So that's the total in each of those, and then the grand total was $3,296.97. I did go back and check to see what it was last year. We had 4 approved cases last year, and the total came up $2,449.73. And then in 2023, I didn't get how many they were, but the top was almost exactly the same. It was $2,428.86. So it was a little $800 higher than we've had in the past, but still based on just utility coverage. And all of these events were where they were either already shut down, their service was shut off, or going to be shut off in just a few days. So, and we always try to prevent that from getting shut off because they normally charge a pretty significant reconnect fee. So one interesting thing this year is in addition to these 5 that we did approve, we received 8 additional calls this year. And 2 of them were for funeral expenses and, in checking into that, those 2 went to Washington Township because they were residents within Washington Township. There was 3 that were requests for utility assistance that were from Washington Township as well, so we didn't accept those. There was 1 that was a utility assistance request, and that person lived in Princeton, Indiana. And so we headed her in the right direction to talk to somebody in Princeton. And then we had 2 cemetery requests this year as well.
So moving on to the commercial vehicle excise tax distribution process.
So this is a law that changed and the auditor sent this letter out to when she distributed the funds. And basically what had happened before was they would take the CVET and divide it between the general account and your township assistance account. We would generally get something like around $40 to $50 in the general fund and about $10 in the township assistance fund. So the law was changed where basically it can go wherever you want it to go. If you've got any of your funds, you can put it in. So the first half of the year, we got it where it was divided. We got $10.50 that went into the township assistance. I think $45 that went into the township general. The last distribution we got was like 50 some dollars, and that all went into the general fund. So,
Think, did you get a copy of that one? I got 2.
okay,
I didn't know.
I messed up pretty bad, really.
I'll take your slip ups any day. He's usually pretty squared away. All right. So next is W4 form, any changes? I don't need to change anything on mine.
I don't need it.
Mine doesn't need to be changed.
Okay. Well, appreciate that.
So AFR, annual financial report deadlines, board review and approval on or before February 17th. And submission deadline for Gateway is, I guess by March
March
1st.
Right,
Yeah, is that supposed to be 2026?
it is. Got it done this day.
Well,
So we've already got the meeting scheduled for the 30th of this month. And we'll have the AFR for your approval at that point in time. So,
Sounds good.
Okay,
and then, that allows us to meet that.
And what time was it on the 30th? It was for 5?
It's for 5. Unless we need to change it for anybody.
I appreciate y'all being flexible because this allows me to not miss my daughter.
yeah.
All right. And so the next would be board internal controls audit, board member assignment.
Yeah, so Rosie's assigned for December, and I haven't got that together. I haven't got the bank statement yet, or I haven't really got all the audit packet together yet, so. And I'll get that to you probably sometime late next week.
that's fine.
Other business, anything else that we wanted to discuss? Comments?
Okay, so
Our next meeting, what we already talked about, is January 30th at 5 p.m. our Township Board meeting and the annual finance meeting after. If there's no objections, it's 4:28 p.m. on the 5th, and I can call this meeting adjourned.
We need a motion.
I'll make a motion to
Okay?
adjourn it.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor,
Okay.
say aye.
Aye.
We'll adjourn
Okay.
thank you, everybody.
it. 4:28
Thank you.
p.m.
Very good. Quick.
Efficient.
You can
Okay, with that.
Okay, we're going offline.
run offline. Okay.
I would stay and visit, but I don't want to get in trouble with the missus.